Hello and welcome back to my Football Manager Unemployed career. In the last episode we was looking for a job and I said I was just going to skip straight through to getting a job just because of the simple fact that it could take a while. And as you can see, it took till the 20th of September to actually get one. I did have another opportunity to take a Russian club, but this one came through first and I thought it was more realistic just because of the simple fact that it's an English league, I've got English nationality, and the league reputation is probably lower than that one of League One in Russia. What I'm probably going to start off by doing is going to look through our squad. Just to take you through, we're in the Vanarama Conference South. The board actually mentioned that they want us to push for promotion when I got the job, so that's going to be difficult. From, like as you can see, it says win promotion, so from 11th position to anywhere above 5th is going to be quite a push. We're still in the FA Cup, which is good, and we're not entered into the FA Trophy as of yet, but we will do at some point. So let's just take a look through our squad. I'm going to go by value. So he's our most valuable player, and he actually, for finishing a 15 in this league, is actually quite good in my eyes. So I will be looking to play him in most of our games. And he's got a good age as well at 24. He's good, but he's young, so he's inexperienced if you ask me at the moment. But for this league, he could probably play quite a few games. Defensive mid, he's got good physical stats and poor technical stats, which is what I expect from most of our players. Again, striker, good finishing, good pace. In this league, we're going to be looking more at the physical side of things, just because they do tend to dominate these leagues. He's actually not a bad midfielder, good passing, good vision, good first touch, good jumping on him, helps him dominate the aerial balls. Winger, I'd probably want better stats about a winger, but you probably will do if you've got no one better. Another defensive mid, he's more like what I'd look for: good tackling, passing, heading, jumping, strength. And then you've got another centre back, average again. This one does get a bit of a utility player. He's quite old, but means he's got quite good mental stats and average technical stats. Michael Spielane. Actually, he's a good. I'm going to say he's a good versatility player, just because of the simple fact he's got all 10s there, and them 3 there, but he's very slow, which is probably about right. And there's our goalkeeper. Handling is low, but reflexes, one-on-ones and kicking is quite high, which I'm quite happy with, because goalkeepers can make a difference. And then we've got another lone player. Ones, I hate players that have ones because they tend to be very, very poor. And then we've got a left winger. Good free kick taking, better pace than our other winger. But everything else is quite low. Centre back, pace, good jumping, good strength, heading, tackling. So yeah, he's quite good by grave. To say he's cheap. And again, though, he's old, so not going to be very fast, but he's got the technical stats and the physical stats for it. And then there's another goalkeeper who's apparently ineligible, and that's because he is a regen. And then we have another midfielder here who's very old, but he's got good mental stats, so he probably will be a good captain and maestro in midfield. Right, now let's have a look at our other parts of the squad. For some reason we don't have any assistant reports. That's probably because we've not moved forward in the game yet. Arvin Williams, he's quite fast. I don't know why he's out on loan. Can we recall him? It doesn't look like we can, which is a shame. Centre back, good pacey one, but weak tackling, so I'm going to avoid using him because he'll probably give away a lot of penalties. Defensive mid, goalkeeper, left winger, central striker, 33-year-old. He's good. and it's transfer listed. Probably going to keep him that way just because I'm not fond of using target men. Look at this guy, he's quite fast. I want to keep him there though. 17 again, I'm going to keep him in there. Striker fast but low technical stats, he can stay there. He's quite average, so I'm going to keep him there as well. What about our prospects? Glenn Campbell, left winger, fast. I don't expect any of these to be that good, to be honest. But you never know, because some of them are regens, as you can see, and you can get lucky once in a while. And I will know more once we do have assistant reports. Right, let's have a look at what positions we've got. We've got 2 goalkeepers, got good right backs and left back cover and central cover, good midfield cover but poor weak wing areas. So I'm going to probably stick with a narrow formation to start off with until I can get some wingers in. So let's actually look at our tactics. I always skip this just because it's not needed. Now you see I am fond of the 4-4-2 formation. It does tend to favour it, and I tend to use wide midfielders over wingers just because they have more defensive duties and it helps you keep possession. I always have 1 defensive and 1 support or attack in the midfield area. Same with the strike. I'll have 1 attack, 1 support. Just helps to create that balance. My fullbacks, I don't ever put them as attack. Leaves you too open. I'll either leave them as defence or support. Probably going to go with defence. No, in fact, we expect to go to promotion, so I'm going to go support for these. Them 2 I just keep the same, and goalkeeper I usually have as a sweeper keeper, but that all depends on whether he has pace or not. Mentality, I'm going to go for control. Keep that as flexible. Right, as for tactics, they want us to play more direct. I'm going to keep playing to work into the box. This is the sort of like thing that I tend to go for. And then due to the simple fact we don't have wingers, I'm going to exploit them with the middle. Because the board actually wants us to play defensive, I'm going to play narrow and drop deeper. Get stuck in, close down more, lower tempo to help us keep that possession. Use tight marking and prevent them from playing it short. Play it more disciplined and stick to positions. Run at defence, I'm going to leave off just because I think that'll affect how we keep possession. I'm going to save this preset as standard. Like that. Yes, I would. Obviously I do play this as well. Oh, in fact, I'm going to play that defensive because, like I said, they play a counter because that's what the board actually wants us to play like. Alright, now then, let's actually change fullback automatic. No, I'm going to play that as support. Same with this one as support. Why did that not change? Right, fullback support. Right, that's because he's a wing back. We want to play him as a fullback. Why is it not changing? There we go. Fullback support. Wide midfielder attack. Yep. Right midfielder attack. Central midfielder automatic. No, I'm going to have him as attack. But no, in fact, I'll change this one to attack. This one to defend. Then that way he'll drop into the gap there behind that striker, and he can cover this side of the pitch, where this defensive midfielder is actually going to cause a bit of a gap. Here I'm going to have him as just a standard advanced forward, and this one as a deep line midfielder, and deep line forward even as support. That is pretty much how I'll probably set up all my tactics, but as mentioned, we are going to need a narrow formation, and I'm thinking something like this, what the City formation tends to be on, within this sort of game. Again, fullback support. Fullback support. This one, the midfielder, I'm going to leave as support just because of the simple fact we're going to have 3 midfielders in front of him. This one I need to defend. Yeah, attacking midfielder, attack. And attack. And then here, advance forward. The advance forward, the reason I use him more is because he'll play other players in more often. If I ever get a striker that feels adequate to do stuff on his own, I change him to a poacher, just because then that means he'll take more opportunities by himself. Then what we'll do is preset, standard, spot in the middle, play narrower, more direct pass, point ball, close down, low tempo. Yep, I'm happy with that. And this one, I tend to go for a bit of a more defensive formation, so 4-4-2 diamond narrow, and that way you just have the cover there, and then defensive midfielder, defend, fullback support. Here I will have not as midfield as a support, and one as attack. This guy will be attacking midfielder support. And in fact I think what we're going to do there is we're going to put him as attack to fill in the gaps. This side's going to be the deep line support striker, and this one's going to be the deep line attack striker. And again you see that consistency of, do you like what he drops into this gap, what he's going to leave, and he's going to move into that gap, what he's going to leave behind him, and he'll just bomb in from the midfield there. Counter again, flexible, and also standard. That's that one. Right, now if I'm right we should have a full setup of tactics. What I'm going to start off with using is probably this, just because we do have a few defensive midfield players, and it stops the, because obviously there's 5 midfielders there, we might not be able to fill that all the time. So if we do that, we've got much, and we've also got 3 strikers, which helps rotate easier with the 2 strikers up front. So that's the one we're going to be using for now. Set pieces, corners, I tend to have 1 near post, 1 far post, gives you a good mix. Free kicks, best header, shot. Right, now corners is GM Collins. When he comes back we'll let him take the corners as well. You. I tend to have 3 or 4 just because in that way if anyone gets injured they tend to be able to cover it. Free kicks, Ricky Wellard. And it's the game, same with this, and then after that it really don't make much difference, just because obviously you're going to be dropping into the same sort of stats. Right, and then captains, we'll leave the captains the same, position instructions we'll leave as the same. Where's penalties? That's what I was looking for. Right, so penalties, just I tend to put more on this one just because when you go to penalty shootouts I prefer to have my own setup, but I do use the auto pick at times as well when I get lazy. So that's that done. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to staff. As you can see we don't have much staff, we don't even have a director of football. Hires, fires, director of football. Yeah, I'll deal with that because I'm going to want to find one myself. For now I'm going to deal with all the transfers myself as well. Transfers, finding a club for the first team. Always get the staff to deal with this just because it saves time. First team, I've just realised we do not have an assistant manager, so we're going to have to look into that right away. I'll deal with the team talks for the sake of this career. So it's pre-match instructions on opposition players. I'll deal with that. Friendly matches and players with your tactics. I'll leave it as that. Right, now what I need to do is I actually need to find an assistant manager. Because they do become quite essential. How do I find staff now? Staff search, there we are. It's changed obviously since last year. Alright, filter options, no. Conditions pick. And we want staff role is assistant manager, and I like to go with someone that's got a bit of, well, first what we're going to actually have to do is go for contract. Wage, we're going to want someone with cheap wages, so see someone like this we're clearly not going to get, just because of the simple fact that he's too good. John Scott, possible to get him, 190 quid a week. Like I said, at first I'm not too bothered, just because of the simple fact I'm going to deal with most of the stuff, so I just need someone to take over the rest. And then once I've got him in, I can actually look for another assistant manager to take over that. Alright, now let's go to the boardroom, because you actually want to be making money and not losing it like these guys are. And I find the best way to do that is to go here, and you do want senior affiliates as well as feeder clubs. Having considered, we agree, so there we go, we got that one sorted. There should be one there for feeder clubs, they're not letting us have it as of yet. So we'll leave that for now. The rest I'm going to leave just because it means it's going to be costing us more. Another thing to look at is just have a look. Is there anyone on stupid contract wages? See, our maximum wage is £500 a week for this guy, which in all honesty I'm going to leave because he's quite good, just like this guy. So that is what I'm going to leave, and them two are probably going to be my two strikers that I use. Right, now I think we are ready to get started. Let's just make sure I've covered everything. Obviously the only thing we could probably do at looking at is players, but due to the fact that we don't have an assistant manager, I'm not going to bother with that just yet. As part of, because we forced us to play that football, which we are, play defence, which we are, and we're signing young players for the first team, which we will do in the end. Sutton United, Billy Meadock, yeah, we know about all that. That we're going to leave the same. That just helps us keep track of what's going on. Let's get moving. Yep, I'm happy with what we're moving in. Little doubt they'll be very happy. Sad to give him go. Yep, obviously they're going to start to see him go. What do you bring to the table? I believe I am the chosen one. Oh yeah, I always love comments like that. Causes controversy. As on the product, you maintain a more reserved manner with the plan. They come to me with anything, yep. Forcing the fans to wait another year. Can you go one better and give the fans a dream of their promotion? This year we will take that extra step. Are you able to expand where Paul failed and where intended to further better? Small areas. Yep, we're not going to bring the results to scratch from the start. I am looking to get like that, but we shall see what happens. Oh, we've got a 3.5 star, 31-year-old. I've already got someone like him, so I'm not going to waste the wages on him. Our first game is versus Ebbsfleet, who are actually in 17th place, so I would say that we should win this. But let's find out. It's just a quick pick for now, see what they actually do line up as. So we've got Fitchett up front, which I'm probably quite happy with because he's faster. White behind him, which I'm happy as well again because he's got better overall skills and finishing. As a deep line forward, he's got better dribbling as well, which means he'll keep hold of the ball. This guy's playing in the AMC position, which I'm probably better because he's a more experienced one, so I can feed them strikers. This guy, good passing again and good vision and good jumping, so that's a lot better for the actual centre mid area. And same for this guy, just because he'll help us keep possession. The defensive mid is James Collins with a better tackling and jumping, and again, so that fits. Defensive players I'm not really going to lick into just because they're all about the same, and the goalkeeper is, as I thought, would be Howe. And then these guys, they're not that fit, so they won't be coming on anyway. Let's get into the game. So as you can see there, the team that's in first has won 8 and lost 2. We've won 3, drawn 2, lost 3. So we've actually in essence only lost 1 more than them. And we just need to stop them draws from happening. They're playing with wide players, obviously we can't because we don't have any. Apply team advice, and they're saying to always close down them, which I probably would go with because it's mainly the most of their attacking players. Give overall team talk. Let's go with a passionate one. Come on, show me what you can do. Yeah, that's probably a good comment for the first match of the game, the season with their new manager. Let's start. I'm going to keep it fast just because of the simple fact of the video. I don't want to waste time. At the moment we're getting countered by the looks of it. They are keeping the possession, but we are away from home. So we are playing direct football to create the chances. So we probably won't have that much possession with the tactics we are using, but we should create chances. I'm going to go with this again. Still come out of this match and win today. I'm going to set that. We are in the yellow, so that's what we didn't want to happen, but it did do. So now I'm going to go with a defensive approach just to see if it does stop it from happening. And let's go overload for the last 5 minutes, just see if we can rob anything. Not quite yet. The corner comes in. We're creating chances, they're sitting back. Doesn't look like we're going to get anything out of this. And great, our main striker's been injured. So I'll have to bring him on. And it looks like that's game over, to be honest. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to steal anything now. But I think with the next game I'm going to go with defensive, just because, as you can see, then in the last few minutes we was getting a bit more chances. I'm going to say that just because we didn't win. But like I said, it might take them a while to get into my tactics, so we will see. How long's Jamie White out for? 9 to 12 days. It's not too bad, it could have been a lot worse. I'm not going to apply for jobs unless I get sacked or offered them and they're for a higher club. It's got set to sign for Sutton United. There we go. Right, now what I'm going to do is staff search, and this time we're going to need a staff role, director of football, and I want to see his mental attributes because I want him to have good judging potential, and I'm going to take this guy here because he'll actually won't cost me anything. So that's that. Now let's have a look if we can sign any good youth prospects. Quick search, not attributes. What am I looking for? There. Age is at the most of, I'm going to say 19. I'm going to say, I'll look for, see like this guy, yeah, 18, good technical stats, got low jumping, he's weak. What about this guy? Again, this guy 600 quid. Solihull Mortars. I can actually approach to sign him, but 8.3k will have to be paid. So that's a shame because he could have been good for us. What about this guy? No. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to scout these guys. This is the way I get a good judgment on the way of like what sort of ability we should be looking at, even for youth players. Obviously a lot of them can be snapped up, so that's why I do it. And then dribbling tends to be wingers, same with crossing, which obviously we do need. Finishing. Have I scouted these? No. And I think that's about it. What about physical? Is there any speed merchants? You've got Anthony Jeffrey for a right winger at Welling. Right, I don't know, but what we'll do is we'll just scout a few of these pacey ones as well, which means we'll be getting quite a few reports through now as well, but just helps us get an idea of who we should be signing. See, look there, he's not really that good. He's apparently turned out to be quite alright, but not that good in my eyes. What we'll do is we'll get into the second game and I'll finish this video here. Obviously it's took longer than expected, but that's because we was setting up and getting going. Greenwood set for the week. Nick Greenwood? What? Assistant manager? We didn't sign that guy, did we? Scott Sachs. Alright, well apparently someone took over and sacked the assistant manager. So I'm happy with that because they've actually got someone that was quite good. He's been injured for 2 or 3 months, so we don't want to actually go with him. Foster should be really set for. There we go. Got our director of football now. Percy's cream of the crop. Oh, by the way, on this, Jones actually went to Tottenham, which I thought was a bit of a shock. Just to show you, transfers, leading transfers. Snyder went to United. Vertonghen went to United as well. And I think that was in maybe as a part of exchange. There it is. Phil Jones to Tottenham for 15 million, which I thought was a bit of a shock, in honesty. Nigel into Arsenal. Nem to Chelsea. It's the first time I've seen that happen. Gaia to Chelsea as well. That is a very good transfer if you ask me. Dede to United. That's still not as good as Phil Jones. Dragovic. Don't understand why they bought him, probably just as reserve. Danny Ings to Southampton. Snyder to United, which I did mention at the beginning of the first video, which I thought 4.8 million. Don't think he's quite worth that much anymore. It's not a bad signing for Napoli. Again, these are really. Oh, hang on, 3.1 million for Marquinhos. That is shockingly cheap. Same for Ashley Williams to them, but he is getting on a bit. Ramiro, let's have a look at this guy. Again, not bad for the price that they paid for him. We're getting up to the 30-minute mark. These videos for FM are going to be longer just because it is a processing game. But I did notice in the first day I did get quite a few views compared to my other videos, so there must be some of you that are interested. 4-star. I don't really want to be buying anyone that's less than 4-star because they turn out to be shocking, basically. Coaching assignments, nope. Nope. I mean, our first season could be miserable. In all honesty, it tends to be because you're fitting in. But if we can get at least some success somewhere, I'll be happy. It's actually moving quicker than I thought it would do as well, with the amount of nations I've got active. But that could just be because I've got a decent system. This guy's a guy that's injured for 3 months again. No. See, as you can probably notice, if someone's at a higher reputation club, their potential ability is actually higher just because of their facilities, basically. A player's potential ability is affected by their current determination, facilities that they're playing at, reputation, current ability, etc. This guy, I'm actually going to see if I can steal. And it's actually letting me, so I'm actually quite happy with that. It's just whether he accepts now. And we're getting into the next game. Saved. As mentioned in the last video, they actually did improve the saving times, as it was dreadfully long when this game first came out. I'm eating mini eggs at the moment, so if you do hear like I'm eating something, that is why. Hempstead. Some strange names, I don't know that much. Again, he's a defender. We've got another decent defender coming in, so I probably won't get another one. Right, let's hope that this game goes better than the last. 1-0 actually isn't that bad. In these lower conference games, you can end up getting battered anywhere from 4 to 5-0, which can be frustrating, and obviously demoralising for your players. Newcastle beat United. Well, I wouldn't have thought that, but with players like that, they do have the ability to do that. Why Januzaj scores with a finish in a 10, I do not know. Apparently these guys are going to line up with a 4-4-2. Let's have a look at Billy Maddock. Not the best, but he has decent dribbling, so he is better for that deep line midfield role. And they're putting Gomes in attacking mid. As you can see, even though we do have a good few midfield players, we still lack the ones that we need. With this game, I'm going to stick with counter because we should beat these, because if I'm right, these guys are in a lower league. Apply their advice. I'm going to go assertive. Aggressive. Should be winning this match without any problem at all. That's what I'm going to set them there. Well, we're dominating possession, which is a good sign. Just created a chance there as you saw, but he skied it straight over the net. And then we just hit the crossbar or something there. So we are dominating this game, and there we are. We have our first goal scorer in Dan Fitchett. So it was the right decision for me to put him out there. Calm. I'm happy with the performance out there. Oh no, wrong one. But look fired up, so sack it. That seemed to have worked. Billy Maddock, 6.3 rating. I'm not happy with that, and he's just got injured as well. So I'm going to have to bring on the partially injured Jamie White, which might help him actually do something. Show me what you've got today. I want to see a good display. See what that does to him. Everyone else seems to be playing alright, 6.4 or above. I'm not happy with the fact that they're conceding corners like that though, because that does tend to be the downfall against weaker teams. But they dealt with it, which is good. They're actually pushing us back again now. I'm going to leave it as it is because hopefully we'll catch them on the counter. Callum Hart is injured. Don't like the looks of that. Jamie White crosses it in, and there's a second goal by Wellard, which is actually our creative midfielder, which I'm happy to see him scoring. And there we go. I'm going to say with a bit of passion, well done, that was a good win for us. Just get some motivated, and we actually had a player